Hey everybody, welcome back. David Eon and the stunning Miss Lady Pop Hunter here with a bit of a rant. A bit of a rant. I don't rant very often. I really don't. I think the last time I had a rant was because of a bad experience on eBay, and that was a while ago. You know, I don't make a habit of it. But I was just really, really frustrated with something that happened recently, and it got me going. And I figured it'd be important to talk about it because I want to throw it out there and I want to ask the people that are watching how their experiences are. And it was MONDO in particular that set me off. And you know, I've had bad experiences with MONDO 6th scale stuff in the past.
Right.
I've done unboxings. I did the unboxing of the Hordak, and his hands don't stay in, and that was a common problem apparently with the both the regular and Filmation Hordak. Then there was the problem with the She-Ra missing accessories or having bad paint rubs on her face or her nose getting mashed in the packaging. And then there was the whole thing with He-Man, and that just killed it for me. With the 40th anniversary He-Man, it broke clean in half in the review. And that was a huge common problem, which MONDO, you know, they do try to fix the problems. I'll give them credit for it, because I contacted them and they were like, yeah, we know. Like half of them are broken. And, you know, we can send you a new torso or we can give you a refund or whatever. And I just took the refund and washed my hands of it because it was too much. It was too much. And there have been other problems since. And again, it's not just MONDO, it's Hot Toys, it's Sideshow, it's all of these companies, 6th scale, that the quality's just not there. Now, what really triggered me was I have a bunch of MONDOs, and I had other figures, you know, Hot Toys, whatever. And we're doing rearranging in the museum. And so I took them off the display to pack them up, and found the majority of them have damage just from sitting there.
You're talking about the MONDO figures.
Yeah, the MONDOs. They're falling apart. They're literally falling apart. They've got stains on them from plastic and from paint application interaction. Pieces are disconnecting and falling off of the baldricks. You know, the chest plates, because they're glued together apparently, and they're falling apart. And this is a very controlled environment, by the way. You know, this the museum room, we don't just have stuff sitting out. There's no UV light. There's no windows. There's air circulation. There's dehumidification going on. Everything in here is very well cared for. And just sitting there, some figures, like the oldest one, maybe a year old, there's problems. But never mind the fact that they're top heavy anyway. And I went to groups on Facebook that are 1/6 scale collecting and even MONDO collecting, and asked, hey, have you been seeing this? Yes. A lot of people are complaining, pieces breaking off. One complaint, I didn't even know about this one, with the Tila, different color skin tones, like her legs being a different color than the rest of her, and having to get replacement joints and stuff. The wrists splitting, on the seam breaking open and splitting, and then they have to glue them back together, and then of course you can't get the rotation anymore. There's a lot of complaints, paint app rubs and things. These are new, and you can blame Funko to a point, because when Funko bought them out, they started really cranking it out. But some of the figures that are falling apart are from before Funko.
Yeah.
You know, and when we're getting to a point now where you're paying with tax and shipping damn near $300 a piece for a MONDO figure, and now you don't know if it's going to last a couple of years. And I know you have MONDO Batman, the animated series.
The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I have 2. Man-Thing, I have 2. And I have a bunch of different Batman the Animated Series. And then it hasn't come yet, but that John Nada from
Oh,
They Live.
which is going to be mixed media.
Right. So my thing, I don't take none of my stuff out.
Yeah, but also, so far, all the ones that you have are like a solid action figure.
Yeah.
They're not mixed media.
Yeah, they are.
Because the masters are mixed media.
Yeah, and like Man Thing
Most of 'em.
is one solid piece.
Yeah.
Creature from the Black Lagoon is one solid piece.
That's right.
The Batman, I think like the capes, maybe the cape is vinyl. On the Joker,
I don't think there
remember.
was any soft goods.
yeah, I
so.
don't remember. But like the only ones I've taken out of the package was the Man Thing. And when I took him out, you can smell like a machine oil smell.
Yeah,
It had
which
no,
you shouldn't.
It had no articulation
Yeah.
at all. I think it was supposed to have
3 points.
3 points. I think it had one.
Yeah. One moved, she means.
Yeah, one point of articulation. The rest of it, honestly, I received them. I didn't even open the box because I knew I didn't have a place to put them. I would have took it out the box just to look at it, maybe review, but I didn't even do any of that because I figured, what's the point of doing a review? Everybody has them already. I bought mine from Big Bad Toy Store, and they sat in the pile of loot for 90 days.
Yeah.
So I figured everybody had them. So I never even opened them. So mine probably still curing.
I guess because that's what they tell you. Oh, you got to open it at room temperature. And I've been through this all before.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to use a hair dryer. Do this, do that, and you shouldn't have to do any of that for the level of the amount of money that you're paying for this stuff.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't be opening figures. We had one viewer that had that problem with Rogue from the X-Men. It's not the first time I've heard that either. That he took her out of the package and tested her, and her elbow snapped off. You know.
I mean, snapping off joints is not hair dryer.
Yeah, it
You know
just
what I'm
broke.
saying?
Yeah.
Hair dryer is, it's tight, so you take the hair dryer and you loosen.
Yeah.
Not, it broke off. Oh, you didn't use a hair dryer. Okay, the hair dryer wouldn't have kept it from breaking.
Something that you never had to do with the old 64 G.I. Joe, by the way.
Yeah.
Or the, I mean, hold on a second, because seriously, while we're in on this, here's a 70s Adventure Team figure. Oh, look. Joints all still work. Nothing, no hair dryer, nothing's broken. Worked like that out of the box. Still works. Still stiff and tight. I mean, how old is this?
Yeah.
But you buy a new one and it falls to pieces. And is his body really that different from a body that you're going to get from Hot Toys? You're not even going to be able to access the body because the uniform is going to be so tight.
Yeah.
What you're paying for is the head sculpt.
Yeah.
And then the uniform falls apart. The outfits on these Hot Toys, if you can even pose the figures, all that pleather and everything on it, it shreds. A lot of complaints about, tons and tons of complaints about the soft goods unraveling, shredding, or dye incompatibilities between fabrics, and fabrics are staining each other or staining the figures. Their arms are turning blue or something.
Oh, wow.
I mean, and you're paying $300, $350, $400 for a figure.
I mean, I have Hot Toys.
You have a Hot Toys.
No, I got two because I got that Batman.
Oh, you did. You just got it.
I just got that one, and I got two more Hot Toys coming. So, but I do get it. Okay, as y'all know, I am an in-the-box collector. I don't open anything. Now, I do have statues. My Mondos, I will take out. The Hot Toys, I will take out. And I do get it. It should be able to do what it was created to do.
Yes.
You spent money for this, and they told you that you're going to be able to have 63 points of articulation, it should be able to do that, because that's the money. That's what you're paying for. You're not paying $300 just to get a head.
Actually, they are.
I know. Cause honestly, you can go on eBay and find a 6-scale body for $20.
Exactly. So that is literally what you're paying for, is the franchising rights.
Yeah. So I mean, I do get it. Not just 6-scale, but even NECA toys, Super 7 toys, everything. Mego.
Yeah, all the way down on the bottom of the rung, Mego, because it is. I'm not picking on them for that, but the thing is, with their new bandless bodies, they're breaking up. People are complaining about taking them out of the package and having elbows and knees just break. Not even able to pose them; they just snap off. And I get it. You know, it's a collector target market with Mego specifically. Yeah, it's us, the older folks. But it's at least they're still under $20 as far as I know.
Yeah, but it still should be able to do what it says it could do.
Because you've got Mego figures I've got loose Mego figures from 1974. Guess what? They still work. I could throw it across the room and it'll be fine. Yeah, if the modern ones, if they tip over on the shelf, they're going to shatter. And that's the argument. That's the argument. The 74 Migos is still in one piece. They still work.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of money spent. Maybe they should.
There's Dr. McCoy.
They shouldn't.
Oh, look, all the joints still work on McCoy there.
Yeah, like it's a Japanese company. They call it action statues. They don't call it action figures. And maybe if they don't bill it as action, you know what I mean? Because when you think action, you think, and then you showing it in all of these poses, and you taking all these dynamic pictures, and it's doing all of these things. You think you're gonna do that too, and it don't.
Or at least be able to pose it without breaking the damn thing, or having paint chip off, or something. Or again, it sits there long enough, and the dyes start interacting, or again, the fake leather starts peeling on it, and things like that. I had that Terminator that was happening to. I ended up selling it. Somebody wanted it, but yeah, all the leather was peeling off. The pleather was peeling off of it, and they were like, "Oh, well, you know, that's pleather. That's gonna happen. Are you sure? Are you sure about that? Because here's the pleather vest on my 1978 Han Solo. Gee, it's still intact. It hasn't peeled at all, and it's the same basic concept. You know, it's that vinyl with that pleather over the outside. It's the same thing. That's fine. That thing has been holding on forever. Why is the Hot Toys ones peeling like a year later? What are you paying for? I think people are just getting ripped off. And I like doing the weekly roundups every week. And I look at all of this stuff, because it is still interesting to me. Yeah. But I look at it and I'm like, God, is this stuff going to last? You know, is it going to be? Is it going to hold up a year or two from now, or is it going to be falling apart? Is it going to break right out of the package? I don't recall that kind of stuff happening when I was a kid. With things just, the only exception was the original raw GI Joes. Their thumbs kept breaking.
Oh, yeah, but they fixed that.
They fixed that, like, immediately. Before they even got to a second wave. Hasbro retooled that, and that's where you got the swivel arm battle grip, so that the thumbs wouldn't break anymore. They fixed that immediately. Nowadays, they don't care.
No.
They don't love you.
No.
They don't care about you. And people have fallen in line so much with that they make excuses for these companies.
Yeah, like they're getting something from them.
Yeah, like they're on the payroll with Mattel or whoever or Hot Toys. Oh, you're not handling it correctly. You're too rough. And have you never heard of glue? I shouldn't have to glue a $350 figure that I just bought, that's brand new out of the package. I mean, seriously. And then somebody told me that with the with the 40th anniversary He-Man.
Yeah.
You can't just glue it on. The peg that was holding it was...
broke. Oh.
Yeah, it broke. But when you put the pieces together, it didn't even touch. Because it was so taut that after it snapped, there was a gap, number one. And number two, it was only like a 16 gauge, which is literally like that big. That's all it was holding that torso together. It was like the size, about as thick as a BB. How the hell? Who designed this? That makes no freaking sense. That makes no sense.
I don't know. I mean, I know people. I was gonna say I know people are money hungry. And I know these companies are money hungry.
Sure.
And it's like,
they're in business to make money, obviously.
And it's like, let's use the cheapest material. And you see it, it's beyond toys. You see it in housing. You see it in just the common everyday things that you buy. The quality of the materials is bad.
Yeah.
The quality of the material is cheap. They use, like in housing, builder grade.
Builder grade, yeah. You're getting builder grade action figures, but you're paying for a mansion.
Yeah.
Essentially.
You're paying high-end prices.
You're paying high-end prices, and you're getting hosed. And I talked about that in detail in a video way back. It was the manufacturing model of 3. I talked about that in great detail in another video because, when I was at Frito-Lay, they drilled that into our heads. We had a whole seminar on it because they're proud of being able to maintain 2 of them. Because that's the model, is there's 3 points, but you can only satisfy your customers with 2 of those points at a time. You can't do all 3 and make a profit. But if you're not giving them at least 2, you're cheating your customer. 2 out of 3. Which makes sense. And I'll put a link to that at the end of this video if anybody wants to see. So, because it takes a minute to explain it. But it makes sense when you hear it. But these modern toy companies, you're not getting any of those 3. You're getting 0 of those, but you're paying an incredible price for it in many instances. And honestly, I think people are getting ripped off.
I agree. And I mean, I know I still buy modern figures, and I'm cutting back a lot. But I don't know. I don't touch my figures. I really don't. But it should be able to do what they said it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Because that's what you expect when you buy anything. A car, a refrigerator, a stove, a house, whatever. Action figures, a camera, a computer. If they told you it can do these things, that's what it's supposed to do. That's what it should do. Because that's what you're paying for.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. But if you bought a camera and it told you it could do all of these things and it didn't do 5 of the 8 things, you would return it. But we don't return action figures.
No.
We don't complain or nothing.
And these companies have gotten really comfortable because people there are people that have become obsessed with it, and they make up all kinds of excuses for those companies on their behalf.
Yeah.
And then you've got the consumers butting heads with each other because you have one person that's sitting there saying, hey, this ain't right. And then you got someone else going, oh, what's your problem? You need to use a hairdryer. You need to boil it in water or whatever nonsense. You didn't wait until it was room temperature after being on the delivery truck. They got some, I've heard that one.
I know you have, but it's just dumb. What difference does it make when you take it out? I mean, what if the delivery truck was ultra hot because you're in Georgia and it's July?
Yeah. Well, then it should be nice and softened up then.
Yeah. Or if you're in Chicago in January and it's -2 degrees. I mean, it doesn't matter.
It shouldn't matter. It didn't matter with any of this other stuff.
No.
The oldest toy in the room is 90 years old. Still works. It still works. 90
boy.
years old. It's almost an antique. It's getting there.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting
10
there.
more years.
10 more years. In 2035, it will be 100 years old and probably will still work.
And you got a figure that's a year old and is broke.
Falling apart without being touched.
Yeah.
That's the thing that kills me. It's not like I'm sitting there actually playing like little kid banging figures together or whatever, like we did with everything else.
Yeah, that still works.
That still works, that's still in one piece. Even loose examples, still in one piece. It doesn't make any sense to me. And so, you know, that just really pissed me off because I'm, you know, oh, okay, I'll just do a rotation and I'll pack these up and what the hell? What the hell's going on with this? It's frustrating because it makes you feel like you wasted your money.
Yeah.
You know, because people could sit there and say that the money's not important. Yes, it is.
Money is not important.
People
Give
will
me
say
some.
that. You know, it's all about enjoying the item. Well, sure, but you still invested in it.
Yeah, but you can't enjoy the item if it's broke.
That too.
So that doesn't make any sense. How can you say that? Oh, it's all about enjoying the item, but it's broke.
That's up there with the guy that says, "Oh, well, it's worth whatever someone is willing to pay for it." Yeah,
That is true.
it is true, but there is a market set value on what most people are willing to pay for it. That's how we get pricing in the first place. If me being only willing to pay a penny for your boxed Terradrome doesn't mean it's worth a penny, because there are plenty of people that will pay a hell of a lot more for it.
Yeah.
You know, that's just, I don't know. That's but that's, people throw that answer out when people ask. You know, it's like, does anybody have an idea what this is currently going for? Well, it's worth what people are willing to pay for it. And it's like, that's not the question. Okay, thank you though. Oh my goodness. So I don't know. That just really frustrated me. And it felt like a rant was coming on.
I guess.
Yeah, and I was already off the Mondo bandwagon anyway, because of especially with what happened with the He-Man, and he reeked of like machine oil and grease too, and he was pale, and it's like that shouldn't be. The coloring wasn't as rich as the other He-Mans.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I think I noted that in the video too. Mm-hmm. But it shouldn't have smelled like that. That was they rushed that job.
Yeah, that's how that man thing smells. And I got two of them, and both of them smell
really oily. Yeah.
Yeah, that machine oil smell.
Yours is more like a sofubi though than an actual true action figure.
Yeah,
but
still.
Because they do those jumbo sofubis or sofubi types. But putting those away that just really frustrated me. I'm off. I've been off the Mondo. I've been off. No more hot toys. I don't want them anymore. All of that, especially the high end so-called 6 scale anything. The Mezco, way too many Mezcos break too. When you're paying $100+ for a figure, again, you shouldn't have to worry about broken elbows, wrists, and knees, and hips. The hips were splitting on some of their figures.
Oh my!
People posing them, yeah. I mean, most people just set it in a pose and forget it, but you can't even risk that in some cases. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I got that just frustrated me, and more so, I find myself defaulting to vintage specifically. And like I said, I still like looking at them. We do the weekly roundup and we look at new stuff that's coming up, and as a curiosity more so than anything, because I can't see myself buying any of it. I can't
say that. I say I don't want none.
Yeah.
And then they'll come out with something.
And I feel that way too. The one that got me the last time.
What?
It was a few episodes back, but the Gary Gnu from Great Space Coaster. Somebody made a carded action figure of Gary Gnu, and I'm like, holy crap! Because I used to watch that show, and there's almost no merchandising. There's like coloring books and crap like that. There's almost no merchandising out there from that show. And I was like, that would be neat.
Yeah.
You know? And then also, if there anything that comes up, I don't want to jump on it because almost all of it, and you can't predict it, but almost all of it ends up on clearance anyway. So if I go to Big Bad Toy Store a year after it's released, I'll probably find it for half price.
Ooh, you know what really hurt my feelings?
Oh no, what?
I was on Big Bad Toy Store, and I rarely ever look at the clearance, but I did. And they had the Super 7, one of the turtle sets, like the earlier sets, for like $84 for all four. Because they sell them as a bundle pack.
Yes.
And you know when that thing comes out, it's like $220.
Yeah, a lot of Super 7 stuff has been ended up on clearance. But yeah, and you can't, like, again, you can't predict it. Some things sell out, some things don't.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, I'd like to get Gary Gnu. I used to watch that show.
Well, maybe if you wait a year.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm going to wait and see if it turns up on clearance, and then maybe I'll get it. Because I don't want to pay full price for anything anymore. Everything ends up on clearance anyway.
Yeah.
Whew.
Well.
Oh, well. Yeah. I don't know, folks. Have you had problems with this? Again, I went to some of the message boards on Facebook and just threw it out there and asked some people in the 6 scale clubs, a couple of them, and they're all like, yeah, I mean, this breaks, that breaks, this falls apart, the paint rubs on this, you know, whatever. And it's like, oh my God, you know.
But I mean, if you, and this is just a question, because like I said, it might need to cure a little longer. And you know, when curing is you make something, and you let it sit up for a certain amount of time for everything to settle and dry. And if you have any chemicals in it, it gives it time to neutralize. So you think if you buy the figure, open it up, leave it in the box, in the tray, and just let it get the open air for about a week or two.
Oh, yeah.
I'm asking you.
I don't know. I mean, it's not a cake. I just...
Maybe that'll help it cure.
That's the same as saying that you got to wait till it's at room temperature to open the box.
I know. I'm just.
I mean, I didn't really do anything with these figures. They should have been cured standing in a static pose on the stand.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe it needed to lay flat.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. I mean, that doesn't make any sense because
God.
when they put it in the box, wrap it up, it has to ship. So it has to sail across the seas.
Yeah.
And then it sits in custom for weeks.
Yeah.
And then it goes to the warehouse. And then they finally get to you. And then it goes on the post office truck and it gets carted around the U.S. And if it gets to Atlanta, it bounces back and forth between two post offices.
Hubs.
Yeah, before it get to yours. So, yeah, it's probably about 6-7 months of curing.
It still reeks of oil. I mean,
and it's still paint rub. Well, the paint rub happens when they put it in the box, but
you see a lot of paint rubs on the Funkos too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess once they get it off of the presses, they just drop it right in the box. They don't let it sit up for 2 weeks.
Yeah, what you see is a lot of times, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, not all of them, but there's a lot of Funkos where on the window, on the inside of the window, there's a streak.
Yeah,
from when they got shoved
into
the box, like they didn't even let the paint dry.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. After it comes through painting, doesn't it sit up for like 2 weeks to dry and settle?
It should, but man, those kids, they got to earn their 16 cents an hour. Jamming the pops
at least
in the box.
24 hours. Give it 24 hours to just sit up and dry.
I don't know. I
don't know either, but whatever.
I don't know. Do you know? Can you tell us? That's my rant for the day. I don't know what else to say because I could go on and on. And like I said, I'll put a link at the end of the video if nobody has seen that manufacturing model of 3 which should apply to anything that is manufactured. Anything, according to Frito-Lay, when I was there, they're like, this is the standard. Everybody is supposed to be doing this. Like, but anyways, let us know. Are you anything else?
No.
Okay. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Have you found this? Do you have a lot of high-end figures? Have you had a lot of problems? Have you been lucky? Tell us about it. And if you collect this kind of stuff, I'm not telling you not to. If you enjoy it, I can't take that from you. I'm just having a problem. Okay? I'm having a problem. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of it. We hope that you did. Share it if you can. Subscribe if you're new. Check out some of the other videos. And if that is it, then what more can we say? But thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.